for the exclusive world premiere in Celebration of Trees, Monday at 9 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
If the Earth's animals could suddenly speak, imagine what they'd have to say about us. There was a time, centuries ago, when we worshipped them. Then, it all changed, and we enslaved them. If the animals could speak, would they put us on trial? Accuse us of violating a sacred contract? The Animal Contract. Tuesdays at 10 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
Here in the vast frozen wilderness of the Arctic, they have adapted. Despite the cold and the limited supply of food, they have survived. TDC-TV invites you to spend 5 nights at the top of the world during Animals on Ice Week, beginning Monday at 7:30 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
A dream so vivid you swore it was real. A sudden prediction that came true. An eerie feeling that this had happened before.
Bending over, it's getting limper and limper.
Performing miracles with your own mind. Close your eyes and see the mysteries of the unknown.
A young girl rushes to join her father and 2 brothers. As she runs, her mother sees her, but only in her mind's eye. Joycey Hurth is racing toward the local movie theater, where her father and brothers are enjoying a matinee of comedy movies. But at home, her mother somehow senses that Joycey is racing toward danger. Joycey has not called out, yet 2 blocks away, her mother hears her silent cry for help.
Arcade Theater.
Joycey is not seriously hurt, but she and her mother will be affected by the belief that they have communicated without using their 5 senses. They have apparently communicated mind to mind, telepathically. This incident occurred in 1955 in Cedarsburg, Wisconsin. A movie theater employee is said to have verified that Mrs. Hurth had phoned the theater at the time of the accident. Researchers studying the case say that such verification is proof that telepathy exists. Joycey Hurth is now 38 and lives in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. She says this incident was just the beginning of a telepathic bond with her mother.
I remember as a teenager that my mother often knew things that I hadn't told her about my activities, and I wasn't quite sure how she knew. I remember being, coming home and having her ask me a series of questions. Did you do this and did you do that? And my not knowing how she knew, and probably even preferring that she hadn't known some of those things she was asking about.
Experiences like Joycey Hurth's have provoked parapsychologists to go into the laboratory to test extrasensory powers like telepathy, clairvoyance, and precognition. These researchers are scientifically testing to see if we do indeed possess a second sight, a third eye, or a sixth sense. Their commitment to unravel the mysteries of the paranormal, however, is met with some opposition by mainstream scientists. Parapsychologists, they argue, divert us from the facts.
Human mind is a very exciting thing, and there certainly is a lot of things to be found out about it. But if you prematurely saddle it with magical explanations and psi and paranormal things, that's really closing the door rather than opening the door to the future.
Parapsychologists study experiences that have been labeled psychic. If we're wrong, and we're the ones who find out that this has all been psychological or physical and just simply overlooked, we've made a major contribution to science. If we're right, we've made an even better contribution to science.
This attitude of open-mindedness is shared by some 20 million Americans who claim to believe in or have directly experienced ESP or paranormal phenomena. And some polls have indicated that a majority of Americans believe there is much more to be learned about psychic powers. Recently, a new age of believers has emerged. This human potential movement has its roots in man's earliest cultures. They believe, like millions before them, in the mystical powers of the pyramids. The tombs of the pharaohs survive for them not only as monuments to man's faith in immortality, but as symbols of a more mysterious inner power. To explore his own inner power, astronaut Edgar Mitchell dared to stretch the limits of communication during the voyage of Apollo 14 in 1971. In an experiment which tested his strong belief in ESP, Mitchell attempted to communicate telepathically with friends back on Earth.
There are faculties of man's mind that we have never understood as scientists. A very important set of faculties. There are many words going along with this: clairvoyance, precognition, ESP, telepathy, psychokinesis. These are things that we can demonstrate in the laboratory using the tools of science.
Mitchell's moon experiment failed. He wanted to mentally transmit back to Earth the images of 5 symbols on ESP cards. These cards were originally designed by parapsychologist Dr. Joseph Rhine. Mitchell had hoped to improve upon an experiment Rhine first conducted in 1930. While studying botany at the University of Chicago in 1922, Rhine attended a lecture on the paranormal. Intrigued by the ideas he heard, Rhine decided to begin a scientific study of psychic phenomena, first at Harvard and then at Duke. There, he began developing the techniques that would usher in a serious new era of psychic research. Among the basic research tools Rhine used were a deck of cards with 5 symbols and a regular pair of dice.
4, 6.
Rhine's experiments were based on statistics. He was trying to prove that some subjects could achieve telepathic results far beyond chance.
2, 1.
With the ESP cards, random guessing or chance over a series of tests yields an average of only 5 correct answers per 25 cards. Yet in 1932, Rhine claimed that Herbert Pierce averaged 10 correct answers per run of 25 cards, or 5 hits better than chance. He once hit 25 of 25. Like William James before him, Rhine provoked controversy. James, a renowned American philosopher, pioneered the study of ESP at Harvard. Critics, then as now, attacked testing procedures that had no safeguards against fraud or error. But still, the work of men like James and Rhine established parapsychology as a bona fide field of research. More than 100 universities across America have, at one time, been involved in the study of psychic phenomena. At the private psychophysical research laboratories in Princeton, New Jersey, Charles Honorton has been conducting experiments which he says should end the debate.
The results are compelling, that there is compelling evidence at this point for extrasensory perception on the basis of work done in many different laboratories over a long period of time with accumulated odds against chance of 1 in a trillion. The results of these experiments simply cannot be attributed to chance, nor can they be attributed to experimental error.
Honorton's breakthrough experiment isolates a telepathic receiver in what has become known as the Ganzfeld environment. Ganzfeld, a German word meaning whole field, refers to a sensory-deprived state of being in which psychic powers might best flourish. Vision and hearing are completely cut off.
Comfortable?
Honorton's theory is that when we are deprived of normal sensory stimulation, we are more receptive to images that may enter our minds paranormally. In a darkened, soundproof room, the subject has been prepared to receive telepathic messages. In another room, the telepathic sender watches silent movies on television. He is trying to mentally transmit the images he sees to the receiver.
I see a man, and he is in a business suit, and I also see some squares. I see a man bent down, and he is as if he's looking for something. I hear music, but I can't make out what kind of music it is.
Honorton first conducted the Ganzfeld experiment in 1971. After 18 years of research and analysis, he has collected what he considers to be a persuasive body of data.
Something is going on that suggests that human beings have abilities to communicate in ways that we do not yet understand.
Parapsychologists are also studying another form of communication beyond telepathy, which they call clairvoyance. John Henry, a 67-year-old folk singer, says he recently experienced one such clairvoyant episode. For the past 20 years, John Henry has spent most of his life on the road, roaming the Midwest, performing nightly in hundreds of small-town clubs.
Hear that raindrop moaning, hiding for his dove. Yeah, I hear that raindrop moaning, pining for his dove. Well, there ain't no happy song when you lose your love.
John Henry lost his love when his wife left him because of his long and frequent absences. She took their only daughter, Marcia, now an adult, to California to live. After the separation, John Henry continued to roam his territory. It was just him, his truck, and his guitar. Then one day, John Henry had a disturbing vision of his wife. John Henry suffered a mild heart attack, he says, because in his mind he saw a car carrying his wife and daughter crash and burn. The difficulty with stories like John Henry's is that they are based only on personal testimony, even though such accounts may often be compelling.
I saw it clearly. The empty road, their car, the other car swerving, the tractor, the collision, the car bursting into flames. I knew Evie was dead. I knew the girl wasn't dead, but I didn't know how she was.
I was fine. I was thrown clear of the car when it flipped, and so I really only got a couple of bruises. I guess it was kind of a miracle. But something else did happen to me. I knew my mother was dead, and there wasn't anything I could do for her. But I had this sense that my dad needed me. I knew he was in trouble.
Following her own unexplainable feeling, Marcia returned to Kentucky to join her now recovered father.
Hello there.
Hi. Hi, Grandpa.
Parapsychologists call Marcia's experience telepathic. They classify John Henry's as clairvoyant.
Clairvoyance differs from telepathy in one important way. While in telepathy, the person gets information from another person's mind, the clairvoyant gets the information directly from the event or from an object itself. He interacts with the real material world.
There are some psychics who claim to possess powers of both clairvoyance and telepathy. In the 1970s, Uri Geller impressed even the most cynical observers with his psychic showmanship. His feats caused as much controversy as they did wonder. Geller thrilled audiences with his apparent power of psychokinesis, the ability to move objects without touching them. He left a trail of twisted keys, stopped clocks, and broken spoons.
And there's no heat at all, don't you?
But some, like magician James Randi, challenged Geller's claims. Working as a one-man truth squad, Randi routinely duplicated Geller's feats. Not with his mind, he declared, but with magic.
I'm just going to hold it right in front of the camera like this. Look, we're going to wiggle it back and forth. Let me see now. It just seems to be, look, it's bending over. There it goes. It's bending over. It's getting limper and limper. And he's an ordinary, common conjurer, a magician, a sleight of hand artist, who dared to tell people that what he was doing was real. Now, if one thing that he does is real, you've got an absolute miracle on your hands and you have to accept it. But magicians every day do things much more complicated than that and much more convincing. And none of them would dare to tell you that it's the real thing.
I visualize a screen, and into it I have to see the...
Geller, however, continues to insist his psychic power is genuine. He still tries to persuade the public that he has these gifts, like this allegedly telepathic feat. Here, a TV host has drawn a picture on a piece of paper completely out of his sight. Geller then claims to read the mind of the subject as she concentrates on the picture she drew.
Something like this, or it also could be something like this, but definitely I'm not getting any straight lines. They're all circular lines, and I'm showing it to the camera. Which one do I show it to? So the first thing is maybe this, but that's what I'm getting. And if I'm wrong, then I'm totally wrong. I got it! Exactly. Wow! Look. See?
There's something wrong over here, and I'm going to make a little error.
Magician James Randi now attempts to duplicate Geller's experiment. He wants to demonstrate that to achieve startling results, he need not be a master of psychic powers, only a master of illusion.
I'm going to turn it face down the table and cork up the pen. And I want you to put one hand on top of that, okay?
The subject has drawn a picture in another room out of Randi's sight and has sealed it in an envelope, which is sealed in 2 other envelopes.
Piece of paper, is that the last envelope? Yes, it is. And here we have on hotel stationery. Okay, now that's a picture of a wristwatch done in Roman numerals. Remember I said there was a mistake?
Yeah.
It looks like you scribbled something out there. Let's just reveal what was drawn on this pad. Let's see how similar they are. By golly, look at this, Rosie. That's sort of remarkable, isn't it? Especially since the number that you made a mistake on here was the number 9. I scribbled out there, and by golly, I think that's close enough for government work, don't you think? Rosie, any idea how that was done?
No, not whatsoever.
I hope not, but I want to tell you, it wasn't psychic, Rosie. It was a simple trick the magicians have been doing for years now.
We will return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
Come the next disaster. Are you prepared? Let Robert Conrad test your knowledge tonight at 10 Eastern on Discovery Sunday.
We built the all-new 1992 Toyota Camry with many exotic materials, including the one you see here, the road. You see, by putting insulating panels made from asphalt in the new Camry, we were able to help keep something else out: noise. The all-new 1992 Toyota Camry. We just couldn't leave well enough alone.
To celebrate. Korbel Champagne.
When you serve your family dinner, they appreciate it.
Thanks, Mom.
But when you add Pillsbury Crescent rolls, they really appreciate it.
Oh, whoa! Crescents!
Works every time. Hot, flaky, buttery tasting Crescent rolls. Your family's really gonna love them.
Thanks for the Crescent rolls, Mom. Oh, Mom!
Pillsbury Crescent rolls. They'll appreciate it.
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution, microfine grain, superior image structure, for ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
They are symbols of strength, providers of life, monuments of beauty. Join us for the exclusive world premiere of In Celebration of Trees, Monday at 9 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
Coming up.
Now there's a new Stainmaster carpet that handles foot traffic like never before. New Stainmaster Extra Life. It stays beautiful longer. Only from Dupont.
For 20 years, when it comes to carpeting and flooring, Dobson Floors has in stock what you have in mind, including Dupont Certified Stainmaster Extra Life Carpet.
Everybody loves holiday in the park at Six Flags, with lights and decorations, music, Christmas shows, and sledding fun on real snow. But this year, we're adding a new twist. Your favorite rides and extended hours, so you can enjoy the fun day and night. And right now, with a coupon from McDonald's, you can save $3 off the already reduced holiday prices. Holiday in the park at Six Flags. Come share the thrill.
We now return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
Though Randi claims to have tarnished Geller's fame as a psychic performer, he has not been able to spoil Geller's current success as a business consultant to companies looking for oil. But if Geller has not been exposed in this arena, others have.
The parapsychologist routinely comes across people who are self-deluded about their experiences, and even more commonly, people who are willing to fake their experiences or lie about them. Despite all of this nonsense, if you investigate hard and long enough, you do find that proverbial needle in the haystack.
For businessmen, finding that one needle in the haystack is imperative. And some businessmen do look for that needle among psychics, looking for that extra edge they need in a competitive world. Some psychics earn as much as $1,000 a day working for petroleum companies. These psychics explain that their methods are similar to the process of dowsing for water. They study the land itself, or sometimes only a map. Ron Warmoth says his mother helped develop his psychic abilities by playing psychic guessing games with him. Though they do not understand Warmoth's methods, some businessmen see him as a sound business investment. Warmoth, at least one of his clients says, has clairvoyantly shown the way to a producing well.
I'd like to bring Ron in on this, and as I say, heighten my possibility of achieving success. I expect him to walk right over, put an X, and say, drill here. And that's where they drilled, and that's where they found it.
Clairvoyants are also used to find critical evidence in criminal cases. Called psychic detectives, they are often brought in by police departments who have run out of clues and are willing to experiment with unconventional methods. One of the best-known psychic detectives was Dutch-born Peter Hurkos. Like others, Hurkos' principal method for solving crimes is called psychometry, the picking up of psychic vibrations said to emanate from an object.
Murdered. The blood was in the bushes there. The girlfriend ran back in her car on a dead-end aerial.
Hurkos was reportedly used by many police departments in such celebrated cases as the Boston Strangler murders.
Long, hard kitten.
Police departments who do hire psychic detectives, however, are often unwilling to publicly admit it. In Alton, Illinois, however, the local police attest to the success of this psychic detective, Greta Alexander. In 1983, she was enlisted by the Alton Police Department to help locate the body of a murdered woman missing for 8 months. The police needed to locate the body quickly, or they would be forced to free the suspect they had in custody. In her effort to find the body, Alexander needed very little information from the police.
All she asked for was a photograph and some personal property. She didn't want to know anything about the case. And then from that, she led us to where the body was.
The police were perplexed by how she did it, but her results brought respect.
I think she's got something. She's got some kind of power.
Despite the public successes of psychic detectives like Greta Alexander, many law enforcement officials maintain they are largely ineffective.
I don't feel, based on our research, that psychics are investigatively useful as far as our studies have indicated. We did a study about 2 years ago involving 12 psychics, 8 of them professionals making their living at it, and 4 of them non-professional psychics. And we did a double-blind study giving them information from solved and unsolved homicide cases. And when we finished the study, we unfortunately had to conclude that the information they provided us was not investigatively useful.
Dorothy Allison is a psychic detective who volunteers her services to the police. She does so to avoid the public uproar that often arises when psychics are put on the payroll. She says her clairvoyant abilities come easily to her.
It's as though I turned on a TV station and got a picture. And this is what I get when I get a vision of something, or a place, or a person, or anything. It's as though you're tuning in on a TV set.
One of Allison's visions was that of a missing girl who the police were unable to find. Her parents sought out Dorothy Allison.
Please, let's go to the police department, because the vision that I got right then and there was that her daughter had been strangled by the boyfriend, and that she was at this place with this big MAR written in red letters. So I went to the police department and tried to explain, but to no avail.
When the police refused to listen to Allison, the girl's family painstakingly pieced together the clues she had provided them. These clues were fragments of the vision Allison said she had of their daughter's location.
There was an abandoned car, the letters MAR, smell of oil, 2 sets of dual church steeples, dual smokestacks, swamps, marshes.
After months of searching, the girl's family finally found the site where all the elements of Dorothy Allison's vision came together. A marshland, an abandoned car, and the letters MAR. The girl's body was found just 100 yards away.
Susan was found in an oil drum, which is a smell of oil. And Dorothy had also said that Susan was in water, but she didn't drown.
An autopsy revealed that their daughter had been strangled and then thrown into a water-filled hole. The police were then able to build a case against the dead girl's boyfriend, who was later convicted of her murder. But in other cases, like the Atlanta child murders, police say psychic detectives come up short. Dorothy Allison is the first to admit her powers have limits.
There have been many, many times that I struck out completely, and I really wanted to find a child and got no answers. Till today, I don't know why. But there are several cases where I never come up with anything. Not even one little clue that I know of.
Despite such inconsistency, some businesses still are willing to invest in ventures that test the limits of psychic powers. One such organization is the Mobius Society, founded in Los Angeles by parapsychologist Stephen Schwartz. In 1977, Schwartz resolved to use psychics to find a sunken ship off the coast of Southern California. If successful, Schwartz reasoned, Mobius could enhance its prestige and increase its profits as a clearinghouse for psychic talent. Schwartz began his experiment by enlisting the aid of a New York painter and psychic, Ingo Swann. Schwartz also enlisted the services of photographer Hella Hamid, a Los Angeles-based psychic. Both psychics claim to have a clairvoyant ability known as remote viewing, the capability to mentally observe distant locations. Using sea charts as guides, Swann and Hamid attempted to search the ocean floor only with the powers of their minds. Remarkably, Schwartz says, each psychic, working separately, selected the same location. To explore the site chosen by the psychics, the Mobius Society used a specially designed $3 million submarine capable of reaching depths of 1,000 feet. The sub was equipped with mechanical arms designed to retrieve objects from the sea bottom. The Mobius dive team searched for more than 3 hours, but found nothing. Then they received a message from their mothership above, telling them they had strayed from the target area. Once back on track, the dive team finally made their first discovery. They discovered what Swann and Hamid had both said they would find: submerged artifacts from a sunken ship never before charted on any salvage map. Operation Deep Quest was considered by many to be proof that remote viewing works.
We will return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
Keep those ideas coming, and we'll keep making them look their best. It took all day, but they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a LaserJet from Hewlett Packard?
Ford Motor Company. Profiles in quality. Teamwork.
We work good as a team here on a job like this where all 4 of us can work together. That's what I said in '82. And today, teamwork is more important than ever.
Our paint job is only as good as a primer coat.
My primer coat's only as good as the body prep.
My body prep starts with a quality body panel. Together,
our goal is to build the highest quality cars and trucks in the world.
At Ford, quality is job one.
If you're looking to maintain regularity, look here. There's a drug-free way to do it, and Kellogg's All-Bran can be an important part, because a high-fiber diet, including Kellogg's All-Bran, can give you the fiber you need for drug-free regularity. See the recipe on the box for another way to enjoy Kellogg's All-Bran. All-Bran muffins. All that fiber, all that great taste.
On September 19th, we gave Leanna Morelli a new piano teaching system.
After 2 days, I'm pretty amazed at my progress. Yeah!
Keep going.
1 month later, she performed a miracle. The Miracle, the revolutionary piano teaching system. Few things are more precious than teeth. We fill them with silver, crown them with gold, and to fight plaque, we use Interplak. Its gently rotating bristles remove nearly all the plaque that can cause gingivitis and other gum disease. No other toothbrush works quite like it. That's why Interplak is the brand dental professionals recommend most. Interplak from Bausch & Lomb. the perfect machine for your precious teeth.
Here in the vast frozen wilderness of the Arctic, they have adapted. Despite the cold and the limited supply of food, they have survived. TDC TV invites you to spend 5 nights at the top of the world during Animals on Ice Week, beginning Monday at 7:30 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
Need a little pick-me-up after the holidays? New Year's Day, Wings Marathon. 14 solid hours of non-stop high-flying aerial excitement. If you've got the time, we've got the Wings Marathon. All New Year's Day beginning at 10 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
We now return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
Prior to the Mobius experiment, the most intensive research of remote viewing was conducted at the Stanford Research Institute in Palo Alto, California. SRI asked psychics to describe and draw the details of the whereabouts of subjects sent out to distant locations. Many of the clairvoyant drawings seemed to match the target locations. The SRI team expanded remote viewing attempts over ever-increasing distances. They met with varying degrees of success. SRI reported one of their most successful experiments in 1974. The test subject was a retired Burbank police commissioner, Pat Price. SRI chose Price because he claimed he had regularly used psychic powers in law enforcement. In the experiments, Price remained in a sealed room and successfully described the direction and eventual destination of a car being driven aimlessly by an SRI researcher. SRI, however, was challenged by the scientific community for not imposing essential safeguards to their experiments to prevent fraud. This quest for the perfect experiment led a BBC documentary film team to challenge the remote viewing skills of Hella Hammond.
And this is a remote viewing experiment with Russ Targ and Hella Hammond.
While Hammond remained with the home base film crew, 2 subjects, one a BBC correspondent, headed toward one of 6 sites in San Francisco. A second BBC crew filmed them simultaneously. None of the potential sites was known to Hammond or to her interviewer, psychic investigator Russell Targ. A random roll of a die determined that the 2 subjects would go to site number 4, a museum at the California Academy of Sciences.
As you stand where they are and look at the interesting aspect, what comes into view? You just pop your eyes open and look at the thing that they're standing at, looking at.
They seem to be looking at some small detail or something. Almost something as if they picked it off the ground and they're both looking at it in the hand. And I got this feeling of close inspection.
At that moment, one subject was picking up something. And this, too, could be close inspection.
Hella, could you drift up in the air and look down on this site? Do you see a plan view that you could draw?
A compound. It has sort of long walls which are windowless. There may be in the middle one entrance. The walls are thick, very thick. A fortress-like, it's like a fortress. I would say it has a mausoleum kind of feeling. A museum-like.
The word museum a direct hit.
It's either fallen into disuse or
The BBC sent their footage to an independent panel of judges. The panel concluded that Hamid had been successful. Because of such reported successes, the potential applications of remote viewing have been studied closely not only by parapsychologists, but by military strategists. Technological advances in weaponry might seem primitive compared to what could be accomplished using psychic powers. Military analysts reason that psychic warfare may not only be less expensive, but perhaps more effective. Some say the Pentagon has already been involved in psychic research. This Defense Intelligence Agency report indicates that the government is monitoring what the Russians may be doing. Documents like this suggest the Soviets are looking into such possibilities as psychic assassination. But our government says we are not engaged in any sort of psychic research.
The official government position is, by most government agencies, A, is that A, we're not doing it, or B, it doesn't really exist. But in contrast, some individuals in the military and in the intelligence agencies have over the years used psychics for their own particular espionage or counterterrorism projects.
At Princeton University, engineer Robert John is exploring how people may paranormally have a more positive effect on their lives. He is studying the human mind's influence on so-called delicate machinery. Dr. John's controversial work explores the relationship of man and machine, something he is reluctant to describe as psychic, but which others believe is mind over matter.
What our experiments have shown us is that under certain circumstances, human operators seem to be able to influence the behavior of certain very delicate engineering devices and systems, particularly those that involve computers or other delicate data processing gear. The question that is raised then is whether practical engineering systems, such as those which control aircraft or spacecraft or that process data in large industrial facilities, radar systems, what have you, may be similarly vulnerable to the influence of their human operators. And we need to know enough from our basic studies to be able to guard against that. On the positive side, one can imagine, if you understand the effects better, that one could build an engineering device which would function in a superior fashion because of the influence of the human operator on that particular machine.
In this experiment, Dr. John's associate is attempting to influence the data output of a random number generator. The median output has been preset at 100. She is trying to make the computer feed back only lower numbers. Parapsychologists are quick to call this kind of energy psychic energy. It is this energy, they say, that propels telepathic and clairvoyant images. It is an energy, others say, that has been captured on film without the use of a camera. Kirlian photographs are produced by electrical energy only. Although these images have been explained in many ways, some still look to them as a starting point toward explaining what psychic powers are. Once thought to travel like radio waves, psychic powers are now thought by some to be part of an unseen plane of reality, the fifth dimension, or to be driven by subatomic particles which behave paradoxically and are still mysterious even to those who study quantum mechanics. Although parapsychologists differ as to what psychic powers are, they do agree that one of the likeliest arenas in which they will find answers is dreams.
Dream states are one of the best places to study ESP because dreams occur every night. We have 4 or 5 sleep dream cycles every night, and the available case material shows that ESP occurs in dreams more often than any other state of consciousness.
Krippner recently became involved in the controversial case of this man, who said he had a clairvoyant dream. In 1980, Stephen Linscott says he dreamt he saw a young woman being murdered. 2 houses away at the same time, a murder was being committed. 24-year-old Karen Phillips was being beaten to death with a tire iron.
This man was beating somebody, just sort of first silhouetted, and then just beating down on somebody. I saw a lot of blood flying.
When Linscott told his wife about the dream, she urged him to go to the police. He was unprepared for what was going to happen next.
I had the impression that she was crouched on her hands and knees after the first couple of blows, and then eventually she fell to the floor.
Can you recall what the instrument was?
It was sort of metallic, dark type instrument. It was blunt, rather thick, and tapered down towards one end and rounded on one side.
The police thought Linscott's dream was too accurate. When they found hairs similar to his in her apartment, they booked him.
The chances of you dreaming this dream are phenomenal.
I don't know what the chances are.
This is not a dream, this is a murder. This is no dream to this girl. She is dead.
I realize that.
Linscott was convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison. His lawyers argued the evidence against him was circumstantial. Parapsychologists argued he was convicted because the law does not know how to deal with clairvoyance.
Had I been on the jury, I would have found the evidence inconvincing, insufficient for conviction. And I say that for 3 reasons. First of all, my colleagues and I have tested some people over a 10-year period of time and find that they are able to dream about events in a distant room under controlled conditions.
His lawyers did eventually win his release, but not on the dream theory. His future is still uncertain. The courts may overturn his successful appeal. Linscott's dream, if we are to believe it, had to have been clairvoyant.
We will return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
This portion of Discovery is sponsored in part by Parker Brothers, makers of games for the whole family.
It's starting to move. You have to be quiet. Wait a second. It's spelling something. This is too weird.
Many believe it was the innovative spirit of Europe that inspired him. And when Mr. Ford came home, he created Lincoln Continental. Today, with computerized suspension, electronic transmission, and anti-lock brakes, Continental is one of the most advanced automobiles in the world. Lincoln Continental, what a luxury car should be.
Your dentist told you about plaque, but you didn't listen. You need the new Braun Oral-B plaque remover. It removes plaque just like your dentist wants you to.
That shelf should hold now, Doc.
The Braun Oral-B plaque remover.
Guy gives woman flowers.
Time passes. Flowers die.
She thinks of Guy.
Guy equals dead flowers.
Guy gives woman wine.
Time stands still.
She thinks of Guy. Guy equals complete fulfillment. Just in case we're wrong about this, we put flowers all over the label.
On the next Discovery Sunday, get into the holiday spirit as we spend some time with one of the season's most enduring symbols. For the deer, life isn't all just Christmas cheer. Growing up in the wild is tough. Nature is unforgiving and hazards abound. You'll see for yourself as we bring you a year in the life of Whitetail Country at 9 Eastern. Then at 10, it's a Discovery holiday favorite, Rush the Fallow Deer. Next week on Discovery Sunday.
Everybody loves Holiday in the Park at Six Flags, with lights and decorations, music, Christmas shows, and sledding fun on real snow. But this year, we're adding a new twist. Your favorite rides and extended hours, so you can enjoy the fun day and night. And right now, with a coupon from McDonald's, you can save $3 off the already reduced holiday prices. Holiday in the Park at Six Flags. Come share the thrill.
Watch exciting NFL football this season on TNT and ESPN. A great matchup every Sunday all throughout the season. NFL football is brought to you locally by Honda Cars of McKinney, Goodman TV, The Ultimate Sports Grill, Rawlings Jewelry, Don's Collision, and Winn-Dixie. Store Cable brings you the NFL on TNT and ESPN.
We now return to Psychic Powers on Discovery Sunday.
Dreams, according to parapsychologists, can also be precognitive. They may, like this dream, show the way to the future. Peter Giarputo, a struggling New York architect, had such a dream, but it did not immediately reveal its significance. For years, it remained a mystery.
It was always the same dream. A psychic told me once it meant that someone out of my past was going to come back into my life. She said if the plane crashed, it meant I was going to have an accident, or that someone else was going to have an accident. But in my dream, the plane never crashed. I had this dream 5 or 6 times a year for, what, 10, 15 years?
Then, he says, his dream changed dramatically.
Tomorrow. It was like the psychic said, someone out of my past was going to come back into my life again. It was my grandmother. Tomorrow. She came back at the right time. I was uncertain whether I should pull up my roots in New York and move to Salt Lake City, and things weren't going too well for me in New York. I didn't know if I was going to get the job in Utah.
In his dream, Giarputo also saw himself taking off in a jet for some unknown destination. Within days of his latest dream, he flew to Salt Lake City. There, he began a new and productive career. The move from New York, he says, turned his life around.
I was only 2 years old when my grandmother died. I didn't find out till years after I moved to Salt Lake City that she had died in the crash of a small private airplane.
I had this strange look into another person's life ahead of time. It's a girl I'd stopped going out with and hadn't seen her for a couple months. And then one night I had this dream where I walked into a gymnasium and, workout room, weight room, and saw her making love with this guy in the gym. And a couple days later, I saw her, and we were talking about what's going on in her life. And she tells me, turns out she's going out with a guy who runs a health spa.
Okay, I've had a few precognitive experiences, but this one in particular was really clear and very strong. And I dreamt that my ex-husband was in an accident and injured in his head and in the back of his head. And in the dream, he died in my arms. And in fact, 2 weeks later, that exact experience did happen, only I wasn't present at the time of his death. At the time of the dream, it was so clear, it felt inside as if I was present in a real experience. And in fact, I woke up with my first anxiety attack.
Precognition is perhaps the strangest form of psychic phenomena, even though it is extremely common. In these cases, people seem to get information directly from the future. A very good case of precognition is the Aberfan disaster. Several weeks to several days before the coal slid and destroyed the school, many school children and adults had previsions or dreams of the disaster.
I dreamed I went to school, and there was no school there, Errol Mae Jones told her mother. Something black had come down all over it. Many others also claim to have foreseen the 1967 South Wales coal slide, which killed Errol May and more than 100 of her schoolmates. Revelations of the predictions prompted a London psychiatrist, Dr. J.C. Barker, to take action. He formed the British Premonitions Bureau to try to find a way to use such predictions. He hoped to prevent or reduce the magnitude of future disasters by analyzing psychic predictions from people all over the world. He was unsuccessful, but he provoked others to consider the possibility of predicting and changing our future.
Precognition is an awareness of events or objects as they occur in some future time, from 5 seconds from now to years from now. It is an ability or an experience of things that will happen, possibly. They're not always going to happen. Any psychic event, these are very, very common events that occurs in the future. Any information you get from that future may be changed by human decision. So what precognition on a normal daily basis occurs as is a way to point you in the right direction or away from the wrong direction. And it amounts to people listening to that precognitive experience and acting on it to change a future that might otherwise be unacceptable. We can change the future.
History's best-known chronicler of premonitions, the 16th century French physician Michel de Nostradamus, also spoke of man's ability to change the future. It was a hope he expressed in a letter to his son. He was motivated to record his predictions, he explained, so that people might be able to alter their own destinies. Nostradamus wrote each of his 1,000 predictions in rhyming verse called quatrains. He is said to have predicted the French Revolution, the rise and fall of Napoleon, and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. There are experts who say that half of his 1,000 predictions have already come true. One of these, it is claimed, foretold of the rise of the Third Reich in Germany and the evil of Adolf Hitler. Nostradamus might even have mentioned him by name, calling him Hister, missing the correct spelling by just one letter. Nostradamus may also have predicted a third world war. Nostradamus wrote not only of Holocaust, but of hope. We can avoid our own destruction, he wrote to his son, if we work together for peace. Can one really see into the future? Do we have psychic powers and energies that we have not yet fully exploited? Some say yes, that we are energy, and this energy exists at once in the past, present, and future. Others say no, that there are more mundane answers to the mysteries of our universe. Others say maybe. They argue that since more is unknown than known, we should remain open to all the possibilities.
How would you react if suddenly confronted with a tornado, a flash flood, or a fire in your home? Robert Conrad tests your knowledge as Discovery Sunday presents The Next Disaster. Are you prepared? Stay with us.